Greetings folks, Zechs here again for another entry of my 13 Slays of Halloween. This one I'm looking at the first sequel of the Maniac Cop series, Maniac Cop 2. And honestly, this is my favorite entry of the series. I mean, they're all good films, but this is my favorite guilty pleasure. I know a lot of people hate this film. They really hate this. And the reason why they really hate this is, spoiler alert, I know a lot of you are Bruce Campbell fans. And you kind of hate the fact that he only's in here for about, what, 3 minutes in the entire movie, and then he exits real quickly. And honestly, I don't mind, really. I honestly really don't mind. I mean, the character he portrays in the series is not really the protagonist per se. I mean, he really isn't. I mean, Teresa Mallory's more of a protagonist than he is in this, and Jack is not, his character Jack isn't really anything at all. You won't really root for him. He's kind of a sleazeball. I mean, in the first movie, he pretty much cheats on his wife, for example, and he obviously has stress on his job. I mean, it's total normal quality, but you don't really root for this guy. And then in this movie, he pretty much throws his mistress under the bus by saying, "Oh, don't worry, I'll talk to her. I'll talk to her. What we didn't do in the whole first movie, that was all just nonsense. No, I'll take care of it." So yeah, he already broke the cardinal sin horror rules by doing what he does in the opening acts in the first parts of this film. So I mean, how can I say like why I really love this film? I mean, number one, the music is even more. I mean, fits the mood of what Bustwick does. I mean, this is, if you think this film, the first one was dark, this film's 10 times darker. I mean, it just amps everything up. It's like Mustwood goes for a much more moodier setting this time around. I mean, this looks more New Yorkish than the first movie, thankfully. And there's like some great shots in this. I mean, and great set pieces too. I mean, the opening set piece with basically the Maniac Cop going up to this robbery in progress, which ironically enough is from the same guy who was in Cobra doing the same exact thing. I just love that. That's another thing I just love. It's all these. I mean, like I said before in the first review, I mean, you have a lot of character actors in this. This one's just overloaded with character actors. I mean, you have frickin' the guy from Cobra as the cliched bank robber. I mean, sorry, store robber. You have frickin' Clarence Williams III as the cliched prisoner. And of course, given that you're in a prison and a jail cell, you have to have the cliche Daniel Trejo cameo, because Daniel Trejo portrays every frickin' person in jail usually when you do these movies. I mean, that's just good. And then you have other character actors in this too. I don't want to spoil what they do, because there's some great moments with them in this. And as I said before in the previous review, this one is just amped up 10 times more. The kills are much more graphic. I mean, you get a lot more gore. I mean, there's a lot of great kills in this. I mean, I can't really say which my favorite one is, because it spoils the fun. But this is just, I mean, okay, I'll spoil one part. I mean, there's a scene, I mean, like I said before, this Lustwig and Cohen always amp up these movies. And this one, the climax is much more, oh shit, than this previous one. I mean, this one you have a scene where the Maniac Cop, once again played by Robert Zadar, and he is just amazing in this again. I mean, this is probably my favorite part of the series with him, because I mean, he really goes balls out, and he just instead, I mean, still the same thing of him. I mean, he uses his hands and gestures, and pretty much his just movements to convey the menacing glee, or not so menacing glee, this menacing presence of Matt Cordell in this, and he just like, oh shit, some of the stuff he does, I mean, oh god, that's great. And basically, I mean, there's so much good in this. I mean, you have Robert Davi now in this as Lieutenant McKinney in this, and then I love Robert Davi. I mean, I loved him when I watched the Profiler series. I loved him as a big, usually when he plays the bad guy in all those cliched 90s or late 80s action movies. But I mean, I always liked Robert Davi. I'm glad in this series and Profile, he's been able to play a protagonist, and he's really good as Lieutenant McKinney. Lieutenant McKinney's more like it's pretty much Dirty Harry, and Robert Davi's perfect for the role, because he's like this grizzled guy, and like pretty much. I mean, he's not getting much in this one, but except for one scene of Claudia Christian's character. Oh yeah, that's another good thing with the series. You have Claudia Christian in this series too. This one. and she's good in this too. And basically, both her and Davies McKinney character are trying to piece together what the hell happened, and pretty much find out that Matt Cordell's still kind of, well, not alive, but still kicking and swinging his billy club at pretty much anyone who pretty much comes into his presence. And he's still aching for some grudges to be fulfilled. And pretty much in this one, I mean, this one has a really good twist too. As the first one has a good twist, this one has a good twist because you're not really sure what Cordell's up to. I mean, you know he's up to something because he's always up. Like, even you think he's like this hulkish guy who's just killing anybody at random, but no, there's a method to this Cordell's madness. And in this one, oh my God, the twist is just so glorious. I mean, I just love this. And there's another actor that I haven't talked about so far who's great in this, is Leo Rossi. I mean, he's this great, this filthy, scummy guy, serial killer, who's just pretty much Cordell's sidekick throughout the middle half of the movie. And he just pretty much, it's the total difference between him and Cordell. I mean, Cordell's always silent, always says one word this entire movie, actually. And Rossi's just this talkative guy. He's like, yeah, dude, I think no. And pretty much he's a nutball. And he's just ranting on and on. And he's a sick fuck, too. And I mean, he just pretty much does some horrible stuff. And I just kind of wish him and Davi could play up more of each other, because there's only one real scene where him and Davi pretty much are together, and that's basically it. And they play off really well together. But it's mostly him and Cordell and Claudia Christian's character who pretty much have their little moments, and it's really good moments too. And I mean, there's such great set pieces in this, and some great kills in this, and it is such a satisfying sequel. It's just like probably one of the best horror sequels ever. I mean, everything is amped up to 11. I mean, you have frickin' chase sequences, you have kills, you have action set pieces, you have great dialogue, you have like great character moments too. I mean, everything's just great about this film. And like at the center of all, I mean, again, Robert Zadar is just amazing in this. I mean, he really carries this movie. And I mean, even though you only see his eyes and pretty much his form, you don't see his face again, because Lustwig only shows it like twice in the movie, and both times they're like, except for the first one, it's like it's under heavy shadow. The first moment you see his full face again, it's like the moment he busts into the police station, you're like, oh shit is about to hit the fan. And it does, it really does, and it's amazing. I mean, I have guilty pleasure watching this, like not only just in Halloween but also Christmas time, because this is a Christmas movie. I mean, it is. There's like Halloween, Christmassy stuff all around. Like the first Maniac Cops, it's a St. Patrick's movie, St. Patrick's Day movie, and this one is a Christmas movie. I mean, it's just like it's a fun movie to watch. It really is. I mean, it's a fun short movie, and it's it has a hell of a ride. I mean, everybody does a top-notch job in this. I mean, there's no bad performance in this. There's no negative I could say about this movie. It's just from start to finish, this is a good film. I mean, it picks up right after the first one, and it just goes to town, building on what the first one had, and it just, I mean, it's the only one sad thing about the next movie, where it's like, you're watching the third one, and you're like, this is not as good. The second one's much better. But I mean, that's the one thing I'd say about this series, is that there's not a really bad chapter. It's just like this. It just builds this crescendo sequel to Maniac Cop 2, and you're like left. Oh, this was so good. How did they get this right? So right. So I mean, I cannot fully recommend this film. If you haven't seen this, go see this film. Just buy the first one, buy the second one, and you'll enjoy it. If you buy the third one, I'll explain more of the third one's problems, but this is pretty much we're just talking about the second one. And the second one is just amazing. And you have to have the first one to understand the goings on in the second one. And if you do, holy shit, it is fully worth it. I mean, I just can't believe how good this film is. Especially if you want. That's what I did. I watched the first one the first day, and I watched the second one, number 2, and then watched number 3. And they're just such an amazing experience to watch the first two back to back. I mean, if you do, you'll not regret it. It's a good 3 hours of kill, literally. And that's all to say. I mean, this is an amazing sequel. I mean, everything is just amped to 11. You'll not regret this movie. It's a great movie. It is a great B movie. So that's it, and I'll see you for my next day when I talk about Maniac Cop 3.